Blue Table fans, it's time for a bat rep. You know you love it. As usual, I'm going to get part one, which is deployment and introduction. I'm going to get that up right away and then leave you salivating for the remainder. And I'm here with Rich.
Hey guys.
It's D-Day.
Absolutely.
It's D-Day.
Having had my Templars and my Blood Angels just smoked by these beautiful Eldar, I'm ready to bring out the big guns.
That's
the orks,
right.
The orks are here.
Guns with a Z.
That's right. We're wearing the green and the orky boots, and we're ready to go.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to match his positive energy. I am a happy Eldar, and I am going to battle. All right, so anyway, yep, we got our mani-pedis, we got our salt scrubs, we've shaved.
Yeah, I didn't shave yesterday either.
So yeah, the Eldar are ready for war. That's right. The spas have been working overtime back on the craft world.
Very good.
Okay, so anyway, so you've got Army of Iyanden. I'm running an Iyanden army, and let me tell you and Rich what that means. So first off, your Spirit Seers can come 5 per HQ, so you can have a ton. But I only have 1, and that's this guy right here. And that is the published Farseer model, but I'm just using him as a Spirit Seer. Second thing is you can take Gifts of Asuryan, but you can't mix them with the Remnants of Glory from the main
so you can only
list.
pick one. Okay.
That is correct. Well,
from either all from this or all from the other.
No, I actually thought that was it, but how it reads is any character in your army may select Remnants of Glory that may fetch. Any character in your army that may select Remnants of Glory may instead select from the Gifts of Asuryan presented opposite at the points cost shown. Cannot choose from both lists.
Oh, so each character can pick. That's great.
That's right.
Sounds
so you could have one guy choose from Remnants of Glory.
Lots of
and
versatility.
Another guy.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, there's no downside to this, basically. So Spirit Seer Psychic Power is called Voice of Twilight, which is what I'm taking on him. It's a warp charge 2. Okay. So I'll roll up another power.
Okay.
And so what this does is if it goes off, all Wraith units within 12 inches have Battle Focus and Furious Charge.
Within 12 inches, awesome.
Yeah, and so, but the only Wraith units I have are these two.
Right.
So,
no Wraith Knight today.
No Wraith Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
because,
how does that work? He gets stuck in with the boys, and he's going to kill 3 boys a turn, and then the Power Fist is going to be like pounding.
Pound. Take out the knee, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
Bring it down.
So, yeah, not so awesome with the Wraith Knight. I decided I just would not use that. But instead, I brought these awesome Striking Scorpions. You've got a guy with Power Fist, or excuse me, Scorpion's Claw, which is Strength 6.
Add initiative.
So add initiative, yes. And I am going to, hold on, what's the other thing? Yeah, that's right. So it has the whatever of Twilight. So let's go ahead and talk about my army. I took a Fire Prism. That's what I took instead of the Wraith Knight.
It's a good unit.
So it is. And all my vehicles have holo fields, which are awesome.
What does the holo field do, Sean?
It's a +1 to the cover save.
Okay.
So very simple. Okay. Very simple. So if they move at all, they get a 5 jink, 4 up for the holo save. They get a 4+ cover. It is awesome. So I have vectored engines on these guys, which means they can make a spin after they've shot. And I just have my 3 units of jet bikes.
I'm very familiar with those.
Yes, that's right. And over here I've got my Crimson Hunter, but I took Star Cannons instead this time. Well, because all your vehicles are so light.
They're very light. I didn't bring battle wagons.
And you didn't.
I do have battle wagons, and someday I'm going to surprise Sean and bring 3 battle wagons, and he'll be going, ah!
That'll be the look on my face. So, yeah, so I got, yep, that's what I have.
Awesome. Okay, fans, here's the Orks have come. We've got a 1850 points. We've got Chirok Far riding his Carnosaur war bike here. He even has the twin-link Dakagun there on the side that he's, and then his super awesome Power Claw that can reach out and touch somebody. Then I brought a new unit. This is a unit I've been painting. It's Storm Boys, which I haven't brought before. I'm trying to match Sean's speed. So I've got 7 Storm Boys. I've got 6 Commandos just because, another pin down in a different area of the table. Then I've got 2 trucks here that are full of elites. One has 6 knobs, one with the power claw, and one with the shoot a scorcha, and one with a huge choppa. Then I've got 12 Ard boys. The knob there has a power claw. Then I've got 2 small units of lutas, 5 strong. I've got 1 individual death copter there, 2 small units of 2 killicans, another squad of 5 lutas, a large mob of 20 shooter boys, another single death copter, and then 3 trucks, all full of trucker boys with knobs with power claws. So I've filled every, big guns, don't forget the 3 cannon. Filled every force organization slot and gonna try and corral these Eldar. It should be a great battle.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I gotta have a better attitude going into this battle.
Positivity, John.
Oh, I'm just gonna blow that up. Oh my gosh, seriously? That's what you brought?
No force field, John.
So this is a truck.
Truck
with knobs.
Knobs.
This is a truck with knobs.
With Ard boys. No.
Ard boys.
Truck with Ard boys.
All right, that's
These
great.
Ard boys
like
those are converted from the Black
models.
Orks, from the fantasy Black Orks.
That is fantastic.
And the banner top is his head there on the knob.
That guy's awesome. Are you kidding me?
And then just trucker boys and lots of speed in this army. So we'll see how we do.
All right, so we've done our armies. So now we're on to the mission. The mission is 3, which is big guns never tire.
Ooh, yes.
And that is D3 plus 2 objectives, right?
That's correct. And then heavies count for a victory point
scoring.
and
So
scoring.
Heavies, I only have the fire prism. What do you have? Well, you have 3.
I have 3. Oh, sorry. I have the big guns.
People love looking at my shirt. By the way, we should have some of these available on the BTP web store, bluetablepaintingstore.com. And by the way, the store is awesome now.
It is awesome.
There's thousands of listings, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you trade in your stuff, so no hassle, absolutely no hassle. We even give you a credit to help you out with shipping. So you send in your stuff, and then you get a coupon, and then you just pick whatever you want off the web store. And at this time, that includes new stuff too. You can just order things that you want. It's really fantastic. Or service. Get your army painted.
I got some great Tau crisis suits off the store. I'm just trying to be patient because my son loves Tau, and I'm just trying to wait till Christmas to give them to him. So, yeah.
Don't do that.
I know!
Give him the thing now. Have fun with it. And then give him something different for Christmas.
I'm trying to encourage him to paint his stuff too.
Yeah.
So
well, there you go.
He's 17.
Now that's interesting. I wonder, what if you made a deal with somebody and you said, all right, if you paint it, every time you paint a unit, you can get another unit of any type.
That's actually really smart, John.
As long as you paint it, I'm ready to dole out another thing.
Sounds good.
So eat, I'll call that the eat what's on your plate method. Okay, so Big Guns Never Tire is, hold on, D3 plus 2. So
see how many?
Go ahead and just do that. We're doing it all out of order probably. 3 objectives.
3 objectives, okay. 3 objectives.
Yeah. All right, so now let's go ahead and roll up Battlefield. Now what I want is I don't want a 3 or a 4. I want...
Let's look at the battlefield. This is spectacular. These trenches and lots of fun little gullies and alleys for the orcs to crawl through as they chase down these pretty boys.
As they chase down these pretty boys. I'll take a bow for that. The Eldar are like, why thank you, good sir. Their manners are ever so courtly. I love Eldar, they got class. Okay, so anyway, vroom. So we're counting this only as difficult terrain to get through that. Like we're just assuming these guys have some kind of modification to get through.
The modification might be the boys just climb out and push it up the side of the trench.
That's actually pretty good. I actually imagine this.
I actually saw an orc army one time that was modeled after the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, that's awesome.
They had arrow boys that were that had rockets attached or like dynamite attached to the arrows, and they would shoot those as their rocket launchers. It was a great army.
Oh, that's great. I love themed armies.
Yep.
I love themed armies.
Okay, so 3 objectives.
And then let's go ahead and roll up table type. So here it comes. Thinking of a 1 or a 2 is what we want. No! It's the kind I don't want! It's called Hammer and Anvil. And let me tell you why this is not awesome for the Eldar. So the board is 6 feet, so it's divided into 2 feet deployment, 2 foot no man's land, and 2 feet for the other deployment zone. And here's why the Eldar have a hard time with this. It's because it's narrow frontage. And so, because I'm a fast army, I want to get around my opponent.
One unit of 20 boys might stretch across the table.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and that is precisely the problem, is that we're going to have this giant. Just look at his army, and then look at the table. He's going to fill that deployment zone. So there's almost no way. However, if you think about it, I have a tremendous amount of movement. Like the jet bikes can go 48 inches.
Yes.
So I actually can go from the front of my deployment zone to the very back of his deployment zone.
Yes, he can.
So now, because when I set this up, I did kind of break it up. As you notice, it kind of goes down the middle. But if you look at it this way, there's these huge lanes. I mean, I kind of have this old school mentality of, you know, pitched battle, right?
Right.
So that's how they were all played back in the day. There was none of this diagonal and whatever, you know. It's like the Kama Sutra of deployment zones nowadays. You know, it's going every different direction. So, and there's a huge
firing lane up that side.
Here. Now, the trenches themselves do provide a lot of cover.
Right.
But see, who's that awesome for?
Orcs like cover. Orcs like cover.
Not the shooting guy. So
you have great range. You have great range on your vehicles, so you should. I mean, except for your jet bikes, you have a lot of range, so that could help.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And the jet bikes can get behind, like I said. And so now, looking at possible deployment zones, this here is a giant blockage in this deployment zone. So this would actually not be too bad of a deployment zone for Rich. And here's why. Because if I try and get behind him, there's very limited space for me to back up all the way to the board edge.
That's right.
And quite frankly, when I was dreaming about this at night, I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to back all the way to the edge of the board and just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot until the last second, and then try and get out of there. You know, this big old delaying tactic. Because the Orc army can fall apart pretty quick.
It can.
Once I start stranding those boys, or there's like 5 boys in a unit, and I start causing panic checks, it is going to be all over with but the crying. But Rich, a truck, how far does it go flat out for being fast?
24 inches.
24 inches.
Yeah.
So Rich, if you think about it, he could be 24 inches up, move 12 inches, right?
And then go 12 more.
Right in the middle.
12 more. So just 12 more.
It's just 12 more, and then be
right at the edge of your deployment zone.
On turn 1.
That's correct.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible. And those boys can charge right out of there.
Right.
So if you do the measurement, and there's a truck with boys in it has a threat range, a circle. And that circle is a 6-inch move.
Correct.
A 12-inch deployment zone.
Right.
And then let's call it a 7-inch reliable charge.
Right.
So we're up to 19 inches. So this is the threat zone.
For one truck.
Every truck.
And the problem is one unit of boys, I mean, if he gets tied up by a unit of boys, they'll hold him up until I get enough there to kill him.
Yep, that's right. So if you think about it, turn 1, the pressure's on.
Right.
Already. And the odds are I am not going to shoot down every single thing.
That would be unlikely.
It is going to be a really tough game for me. I'm going to have to really do some fancy footwork, isolate units, and then really, so Rich's challenge is going to be to pin me down.
That's right.
He can't forget that those jet bikes can go this far on this board.
12 plus 24, right?
36 inch.
36
turbo
inches.
boost
Yep.
for jet bikes.
That's right.
Yep, it's glass hammer, folks.
It will be interesting.
Oh.
Here we go.
Okay, so we're to place primary objectives, so we roll off. Here's a dice for you.
I won't use your blue dice, thank you, Sean.
Oh, sorry.
I got a 1.
And
Sean got a 4.
So yeah, obviously I'll place 1 first. Now I don't know where the
which side you get, right?
Be. So I need to look at where am I going to best be able to defend something or get something. Now what's unusual is don't drift. Is that if I place it here, well, not that close to the edge, I can still get that.
Right.
By zipping over it. And in fact, if the Orks are going to press forward, that's a weird position for them. So I actually think that putting something really near the end of the board, but behind cover in a place that's very difficult to get to by ground troops, that is probably the best thing for me. So I'm going to go ahead and place the first objective right here. Okay. So go ahead.
And I will place one 12 inches up.
Oh, wow. So very close.
Right here.
Oh, put it up there.
Put it up here?
Yeah, let's do that instead.
Right there.
All right.
Because I figure if I can get my big guns onto that, that's a great place for my big guns.
That makes that.
Because they are scoring in this objective.
Really all right. Well, I'm gonna make it a little go for broke right now. I put the third objective right here.
Wow. Very interesting.
And make it kind of all or nothing for deployment zone. Right.
That is a tight cluster of objectives.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
What's next?
So we go on to, I really need to put this on the wall. Here you go. Terrain, objectives, warlord traits. Oh, me.
You first.
I'm going to do Eandon warlord traits. And so you need to look at these and be like, are any of these good for not a combat guy? And not necessarily. So here we go. 4, that is Lord of the Sorrowful Dead, double spirit mark. Can do 2 spirit marks
units.
per turn.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, that's awful. And here's why. Because spirit mark doesn't affect the guys with flamers.
Oh.
They re-roll to hit.
So it doesn't do anything for this whole army.
It doesn't do anything.
Do you want to re-roll it, Sean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just re-roll.
I actually think that should be a house rule.
Yeah, let's just have something that does something.
6. Okay. Undying Flame. Warlord re-rolls all failed saving throws.
Awesome.
Lost when he suffers an unsaved wound.
Okay, so until he fails it. That's really good for him.
That actually is good.
Here, I'm going to roll on the command traits, Sean.
Yep.
On the table, on the command traits. And I got a 4. I don't have that table memorized, so that's the first column.
Got it. 111, command traits. What is it, 4?
4.
Master of the Vanguard. Your warlord and all friendly units in 12 inches roll an extra dice when they run, using the highest.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's
pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
You can't tell me that one's not awesome.
Speed.
Okay, and then Psychers. So I have telepathy. My 2 powers, my first power, let's roll.
Okay. 6.
That is hallucination, warp charge 2. And that's actually a good one to pick, and here's why. Because my guy is a warp charge 2 guy, and I want to take Voices of Twilight, which is warp charge 2. So I can never do that one and the other one.
It's either or.
So I may as well have the other one be a
2 really powerful ones. Right.
Right. And Voices of Twilight isn't always useful either, because I may not need battle focus. Like the Wraith Guard units might die, or they might just be sitting in their transports.
Right.
So I am going to take Hallucination, which is a malediction. So that's a 24-inch range, and I don't know, but I think you can cast that out of the transport because you don't need a line of sight.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look all of that up.
Okay, sounds good.
We don't have any psychic
No
powers,
psychers,
right?
no.
So we are off to the first and second, the almighty first and second.
Here it goes.
Yep, this is and in this game, this is
big.
the game. You know what, Rich? Why don't we just save ourselves some time and just roll a dice, and whoever gets higher wins?
No, because either way, I'm going to win, Sean. That's the Orky attitude.
That is, yeah, those Orks. 6.
6?
No way! All right, the Orks are like, oh, roll a 6, eh?
There's a 3.
It's like fighting against the 2.
2.
All right.
I'll go first.
All right. So you deploy first and go first.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Okay, and I'll deploy.
Yeah, and by the way, I wonder what your deployment will look like. Could it be a giant blob of green taking up one entire side
very,
of
very likely.
the battlefield? All right, we'll come back, folks. We'll come back after deployment.
Okay.
And it may take, after this video gets up, it may take a day.
Are you going to put this? Are you going to go ahead and put this one on?
That's right. But I've started a new thing, and maybe I won't always do this, but the general rule is I'm going to completely get an army. A battle report done and publish the entire thing in one fell swoop with just this teaser as a heads up that it's coming. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. And if you're bored waiting for the bat rep to go up, make an army list and shoot it off to our inquiries guys and get your no obligation quote. Get your army up on your wall and start dreaming about it. 'Cause that's how it happens.
Sounds great.
All right, so we've deployed.
The Orks
and
deployed
look at that.
as far forward as they could.
One big orky wall of death.
That's right.
Wow. Are these guys troops? They're heavies.
They're
but
heavies.
they count as scoring for big guns. Duh. All right, look at the Eldar. So few of them. Every life so precious.
Not precious
So
to me,
precious.
John.
All right, so basically I deployed my wave serpents here. Now I didn't move all the way up, and here's why. Because if I do my jump over move, and he moves up very aggressively, I want to be able to just move over that. Or have the option of backing up entirely, making him go yet more forward, and then completely jumping over. So it's going to, the way this army's set up is it will have to kind of move forward in one giant wall.
Absolutely.
Now, Rich has created an unusual situation for himself, is that all the objectives are here, but he's playing an army that's going to have to push forward, especially if I just decide I'm just going to shoot him and shoot him and shoot him and shoot him. What's the strategy?
You see, there's 4 objectives. There's 3 right here.
Yeah.
And the 4th one is kill an Eldar. And that's the most important objective of all. So
Fantastic.
we'll be coming over.
I'm not afraid of you, Rich. All right, so anyway, so this, I had to deploy the jet bikes here because that's just too cinematic. The jet bikes speeding up the trenchworks here with razor-thin precision. Now, I put this guy here. This is an unusual feature. It just bisects my deployment zone and really prevents shooting from this end over to there. And then this thing here prevents shooting that way. So what I've done is I've set my fire prism here so it can kind of jump back and forth as needed. And then these guys here, they are kind of limited, but again, with one turn, Eldar can just redeploy there. I could redeploy over here. I could, well, and use this against the Orks, basically, because there's nothing over here. Maybe there's not even Eldar to kill. So it's gonna be a weird, wild, wacky game. All right, let's deploy our infiltrators. So we both have them, so we roll off. Eldar get a 6.
I got a 5.
Orks get a 5. So I can go first, and I am going to, I put these guys here, but that was just to psych Rich out. So now, you can't, from what I understand, I was talking to Thomas about this, you can't, or was it Thomas? You can't, infiltrators can't charge the first turn, but that's not your first turn.
Right.
It's just the very first turn of the game.
Right.
So if Rich goes first, my Scorpions can have at it.
On turn 2.
And if you think about it, if you look ahead in the game here, the Orks are going to be moving. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do but just push forward. And in fact, they can't really even shoot. I'm 36 inches away,
Well, Sean, there's
so they
one
can
thing.
hardly even shoot. Oh, geez, this again?
No, I'm just saying I could hide on the objectives. And really, you couldn't shoot this many Orks off the objectives.
Yeah.
And so if I was just, I'm going to win this game, I could,
could just sit
that's
there.
Not the Orky way to play.
No, it is
and
not.
Orks are going to come fight. They don't care that all the important stuff's over here. We want to fight.
Yeah, the Ork like gets the sheet of like where he's supposed to deploy. He's like, he goes, turns it upside down. So I moved my Scorps right here. Oh, isn't that cinematic? Look at him, just waiting in ambush. Awesome. All right, go ahead.
Okay. If I'm going to get to go first, maybe I can pull off a little flame action on you, Sean.
Yeah, you can't charge.
Right?
But you could move 6, right?
Right.
And potentially get a few of them in. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be kind of hard, though, because you have to be out of sight. But, of course, this is, like, completely out of sight.
Right.
So a slightly better deployment for me would have been this.
Ah, do you want
A
to do
little
that?
sentry.
Do that?
Nope, because I didn't do that. And I'm only seeing it now that you're pointing that out. Point it out. That's fantastic. All right, so we've got our commandos with a K. They're over here. Okay, so is that, I think that's closer than 12.
Is it? So
Yeah. They're gonna have to be backed up quite a bit.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
it would
they
be
are.
as the
They
crow
are.
flies.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, you know. That's actually better than for you, really.
Has he declared the war yet?
Not yet.
He hasn't.
As
Seeing
the
as
crow
it's not the
flies,
first turn.
let's
There we go.
So yeah, further
Yeah, they
back.
need to be way back.
Like here, right around this corner.
And that matters because he's got that combi scorcha in there.
Actually, this is
And-
a burner.
Okay, a burna. That's what I meant to say. So so he's
Yeah,
going
I
to move
think
up
I'm good.
6, and he could possibly get. It's going to be tough to round this corner
Right.
here and still get it.
Right.
In fact, you may not be able to do it.
May not be able to, but that's all right. That unit's where I like it.
It's all right. Well, and it'll hold the scorps off while your guys rampage forward.
Right.
And the fact is, the scorpions aren't invulnerable. You know,
Right.
a horde of rampaging orcs is really going to put a crimp in their
rending?
day. They don't. No.
They don't have rending.
No, they don't have rending. No.
Just lots
All
of
right,
facts.
folks. That's it. I doled you out a little extra action there. So stay tuned.